Welcome viewers, episode 5, when privacy stopped feeling private, in the Biological Women's Rights Campaign Insightful Therapy Journey. Episode 5, when privacy became conditional, because privacy only works when it does not require permission. The moment privacy becomes negotiable, something fundamental changes. The moment privacy has to be provided with a permission, the whole structure of privacy changes. The woman no longer experiences the boundary as protection. She experiences the boundary as uncertainty. And uncertainty is the birthplace of vigilance. For generations, female privacy carried a simple promise. You may stop defending yourself here. You may stop explaining yourself here. You may stop negotiating here. Then co-governance arrived and privacy slowly became conditional. The most psychological damaging consequence of shared governance isn't disagreement, although that's one of the consequences of it. It's not the most psychologically damaging consequence of it. It's conditionality. The woman no longer knows whether the boundary will remain what it claims to be. The category remains visible, the protection remains visible, but the certainty begins disappearing. And the nervous system notices this immediately, because biology depends on certainty. Identity may negotiate, biology does not. The female boundary was originally designed to remove burden, to remove vigilance, to remove exposure, to remove the need for continual self-protection. And that is what privacy does. It creates psychological certainty. The certainty that the environment is carrying the burden for you. That's what the law is supposed to do. The law is supposed to have carried this burden for women, and they undermined it. Now, biological and ideological co-governance has reversed that process. The woman enters the space. The boundary no longer settles the question. The woman has to settle the question. She evaluates, she assesses, she anticipates, she prepares. The burden migrates from the structure into the individual because there's no law there to protect the female anymore, the biological female. And this is where the trauma pattern mechanisms intensify. Hypervigilance becomes normal. Environmental scanning becomes normal. Boundary defense becomes normal. Institutional distrust becomes normal. The body remains partially mobilized because the contradiction remains unresolved. The collision never truly leaves. It follows the woman into the next space, and the next space, and the next space. The protection no longer is sovereign. It's shared. It feels temporary, contingent, changeable. The woman begins learning a lesson. The boundary exists, but only until somebody contests it. Only till the identity person contests it. The protection exists, but only until somebody challenges it. The category exists, but only until somebody reinterprets it, and that's already been done. And that lesson is psychologically corrosive because certainty disappears. And where certainty disappears, vigilance grows. The woman gradually becomes the final guardian of her own protection because the law doesn't do that anymore. Not because she wanted the role, because the system transferred the role onto them. And this is why co-governance feels intrusive. The intrusion's not merely physical, it becomes psychological. The collision enters the category, the institution, the nervous system, and eventually the woman begins living as though every boundary may require some defense. Final statement, lesson 5. The catastrophe of conditional privacy is not that women lose every protection. The catastrophe is that women stop trusting protections to remain settled, because they're not. The law still exists. The category still exists. The sign still exists. But certainty no longer exists in the same way. And once certainty disappears, the body begins preparing for conflict. And that is the hidden psychological cost of co-governance, biological and ideological parallelism, equality. It doesn't work. Privacy stops being private. Protection stops feeling like protection. And the woman becomes responsible instead of the law, the woman, because it's no good her going to the law to get the protection, because she isn't going to find it there. It's been taken away. The woman becomes responsible for carrying the burden. The law was originally created to carry for her. See you in the next lesson.